Welcome to Red Eye. Hello, everyone. I am Tom Shillue. Let's check in with TV's Andy Levy at the Red Eye Tease Deck. Andy?
Thanks, Tom. Coming up on the big show, in a disgraceful breach of privacy, Colin Powell's personal emails are leaked to the public. The details on what's in those emails next. Plus, Donald Trump gets a note from his doctor. Does he think there's still a draft or something? And finally, China livens up funerals by adding strippers. This is great. Now you can feel sad and empty inside at the same time. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Andy. Let's welcome our guests. Glasses make you look smarter, as if she needs that. Reporter for the National Review and Fox News contributor Katherine Timpf. He always looks like he's on the way to a convention for the musical Grease. Editor at Reason.com, Nick Gillespie. If he's shunned, he might as well be walking on the moon. Smash Mouth frontman, Jimmy Failla. And he's nicknamed the Baker for his fondness for killing men with spatulas. Sitting right next to me, former CIA Covert Operations Officer and President of Diligence LLC, Mike Baker. Okay, let's start the show. Whoever wins the presidency, you can bet Colin Powell won't have a role in the administration. On Wednesday, the website DC Leaks published a bunch of the former Secretary of State's private emails in which every liberal's favorite Republican shared his thoughts on this year's candidates. Powell rips Donald Trump, calling him a national disgrace and an international pariah, and says he'll never win over black voters because, quote, he can never overcome what he tried to do with Obama with his search for the birth certificate. The whole birther movement was racist. And he's not much kinder to Clinton, writing everything HRC touches, she kind of screws up with hubris. Powell says he would rather not have to vote for her, referring to Clinton as, quote, a 70-year-old with a long track record, unbridled ambition, greedy, not transformational, with a husband still bimbos at home, according to the New York Post. Interesting. Wow, Baker. Yeah. Okay, who got worse treatment in this secret email?
Oh, well, first of all, might I add the coincidence of all of this, because in the 1980s, I had a Twisted Sister cover band called Bimbos. and we had a modicum of success.
You did?
Might I add. Yes. Look, it's interesting. I don't know who got the worst treatment. They both, it's very disparaging. There's a couple of points that I think are interesting. One is that somebody of Colin Powell's experience level in government and dealing with sensitive issues is indiscreet to this level in his correspondence, apparently as if he's unaware of the potential for hacking at all times. And that brings us to the second point, which is that this is kind of the new normal. Nobody's shocked anymore. In a very short period of time, this has become the new normal. We're not shocked about the release of hacked emails. It's just, oh, here it is. Here's some more hacked emails, and nobody's saying, oh, my God.
But I like him more now.
Yeah.
Wait, why do you like Colin Powell more?
Bimbos is the best phrase ever. I don't ever want to use another phrase.
It makes you forget about a basket of deplorables.
It makes you forget about everything except Colin Powell and how he's a star. His syntax is amazing.
I don't know who says bimbos outside of, like, 4th or 5th graders on the recess playground.
Colin Powell and now me.
He was using an AOL account as his personal email, so that, they might dumb it down.
Yeah.
That's right. He's not that sophisticated on the hacking front, is he?
Can I go back to what Mike was talking about, though, which I think is really important, is that we have fun with this. I love reading this type of stuff. I started out in a scandal rag journalism, so I dig this, but we discount that, and the most important stuff in that is like conversations he had with Condoleezza Rice, where he was like, you know what, Rumsfeld and Cheney, and he called both Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney idiots, but he said that they were they were terrible about how they prosecuted the war, and they moved in and they were pretending to know what they were doing in Iraq after the after the invasion, and that kind of stuff is really important, and it's good to have that. I'm a big fan of hacked emails because this transparency ultimately is good, even if it
there's a cover your ass element there with Powell's statements about the Iraq War, and it almost as if I don't want to say he knew that this was going to come out at some point in time, but there was this element of I'm going to back away from this and I'm going to blame somebody else. the Cheneys are anything but idiots. I'll say that much too.
Right. Oh,
Yeah. There you go. Okay, look, Jimmy, my takeaway from this was that he's such an elitist. I mean, you read through these emails. In one of them, he said he just got back from the Bohemian Grove. Yeah. Right? He was out, you know, doing with the Druids and the Redwoods.
Not wearing pants.
Then, in another, he's throwing a mini tantrum at a Hamptons party. In another one, he's complaining that he has to stay in some rich guy's second house because Hillary's across the street in the guy's first house.
Yeah. But to that point, I do find it refreshing that there's a Secretary of State that held on to their emails. I do think that's nice, because that's clearly not been the standard procedure going forward.
I mean, could anyone hide their emails for once?
No, it's impossible. Everybody's got to know that at this point. But that's why it's kind of ghoulish in the sense that nobody wants to get their emails hacked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying things in my emails, specifically about people on this panel right now. But if I just hear Jimmy Failla email hacked, I have a jar of cyanide in my back pocket just in case. Like,
well, fortunately, so few people care about you or your inner workings of your life.
Nobody cares.
No one's going to publish it.
Say that the nudes are pretty good.
The nudes are solid.
But I got a whole file of your emails, by the way.
I appreciate that. But I really felt like the story kind of exposed a lot of news outlets for how in the tank they are, because certain outlets only reported like his slanders of Trump.
Right. There's all the headlines were the
Trump. A lot of Yahoo's Daily
Right.
News, a Trump national disgrace. Never mind that he said he can't even speak at a certain outfit because Hillary had milked them for every red cent they had in speaking fees, bills getting laid on the side. I mean, it was crazy to see how in the tank people were about how they portrayed and tried to frame this story.
Well, it's funny that you saw it that way because, Kat, I'm obviously on all the right-wing sites because all I saw was this stuff about Hillary.
Well, even headline-wise, it was just national disgrace because, honestly, that does fit a little easier into a headline than
national
talking about milking them for every cent I'm worth.
You know, international pariah, I think that's like a better category, right?
A lot
that's
of people
like
don't
Miss
know
Universe.
what that means, probably.
It's bigger. It's more big league.
Yeah,
Is it not?
But, no, I think as a journalist, I would have immediately have latched onto the bimbos.
Same.
I mean,
I've latched onto it as a human being.
Right.
I don't want to say a sentence without that in another.
I've already gotten rid of the basket of deplorables hat, and now it's just bedbugs.
All right.